Final answer, alien. We're not real people. Hey everyone, today I am finally doing a new LeighAnnSays video. It has been so long, I can't even remember the last time I did one. I was really good about doing it like every single month for the longest time. I have no explanation. But we're back at it again. I asked on Instagram, I asked on Facebook, I want your questions. I got all kinds of questions. I'm gonna try to do a bunch of them. Let's get going. First up, we have a Mafia Witch. Hi Leighann, I was wondering why you started doing yoga. Is it helping you manage the stress in your life? Also tell Luna I said hi. She's the cutest little bean. I wish you both the best. Love you and your videos. Love you too. Thank you so much. I will tell Luna you said hi. Right now she is ferociously attacking a toy. She cannot say hello. I started doing yoga in February, and the reason why I started is because I don't work out. I don't know why. I've never been an athletic person. I've just always been like tall and skinny, so it's like there's no like sense of urgency to like, oh no, I need to lose weight or something like that, because I don't feel that I need to lose weight at all. But I live a really tragically inactive life. Like I am on the computer the whole day at work, and then at night I'm like working on YouTube stuff, so I'm just sitting there on the computer more, and that's not good for anyone. And so it's just, I really wanted to find some kind of exercise that would work for me. And honestly, I just wanted to try something because I am so weak. I have like no muscles whatsoever. It was kind of on a whim, but I went for it. I really like it. I'm horrible at it, like no idea what's going on, but that's kind of fun to me because it's just like the whole time I'm just like learning and struggling, and in a way I kind of really like that, and I feel like it is helping me. As far as stress, I haven't noticed any difference with the stress in my life. I live my life at a pace that is unmanageable. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone, but that's just my situation right now. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know, but I'm sticking with it, and hopefully it helps me as far as like, you know, fitness and stress. Next up, a Sophie LW. Does being YouTube famous affect your private life? Like, do you feel obligated to tell us everything that's going on in your life? I know I've seen a lot of people asking awkward questions about your relationships and stuff. How does that make you feel? Well, I think it's weird that you said YouTube famous. I do not really feel like that. I don't feel like YouTube famous fits me. I feel like there's a lot, like, you know, obviously a lot bigger channels than mine, but I see what you mean. And no, I do not feel obligated to tell you guys everything. That's something that I've talked about in the past. It's just like, I've always wanted to, you know, have a separation. Since I started doing weekend vlogs, that separation has become a little bit more like in question. Like if there's someone in my life that doesn't necessarily want to be in my weekend vlogs, like no problem. Like I just leave that out. Or, you know, if something, like if I had a breakup, like I had a breakup last year and I never really talked about that in depth. And the reason is because I don't know, like I have to have respect for my private life. I can't sell my private life out just to engage you guys and have like kind of like bribe you guys with drama and stuff like that, especially if it's at the expense of my private life and relationships that I have. I just think that's like disrespectful, and for me, like my gut feeling is that for my integrity to stay intact, I have to, you know, have a separation and look at my life and say, okay, this belongs out there, this doesn't. I, you know, of course love watching channels where people just like put it all out there, but for me, that's not what I'm doing right now. Maybe in the future I will become a reality show of my own and I will throw it all out there just to entertain you guys, but right now, no. And as far as like how do I feel whenever I get like really personal questions, at times I feel like it's invasive and I want to like be defensive, and other times I'm like, it's totally natural for you to wonder, and sometimes I answer, sometimes I don't. It is what it is. Allie Fowler said, do you want kids later in life other than Luna, of course? Yes, Luna is my only child at this point. That's something that I've kind of been thinking about, and I don't know. I've always seen myself having kids, like at least one kid, because I don't know, I love family. I love my family. I love the idea of having my own family. But moment of extreme realness, I cannot imagine like getting pregnant and like having a pregnancy, you know what I mean? And then having to deliver a baby. Like that whole thought baffles me / terrifies me. I mean, I know like so many moms are like, you know, you go through it, it's so hard, and then once you have that baby, it's all worth it. But I don't know. I just cannot imagine going through that, and it's basically like you're giving up your body, you know what I mean? And I know that comes off as like selfish, but that's just how I feel. I don't, those are my feelings on the inside. So undecided, it's not something like I dream about all the time. We can say that, but I do want a family someday. That was an intense question. How about a light question? This is Dina and C. What is the food you always get at Zoe's Kitchen? I always get the chicken salad sampler, and lately people on Twitter have been saying that they don't have it anymore, but every time I go, they still have it. So I'm not sure what that situation is. They better keep that around because I love it so much. I always like feel like I'm eating healthy whenever I get that, but it is like not really healthy. It's like cheese and chicken salad, like all of that. So I love it though. It is so tasty. Vanessa Barton said, know how much you love the Meet Matte Nudes palette. Do you think you'll try the Meet Matrimony, the Balm palette? Yes, I have seen it on Instagram. I have not seen it in real life. I desperately want to try it. It looks so lovely and I love the balm, and so I've got very high hopes. Next up, Maria Christine D. How did you grow your hair out while also being blonde? It's so damaging and it takes forever to grow my hair out now. Cry face. Do not be fooled. My hair is significantly damaged, especially after, well, I talked about this in a recent video, but like especially after that time I went and got my hair done and it went way wrong last September when I like went to that new person. I made a whole vlog about it if you'd like to see. I do have breakage. I do have, you know, pretty dry hair, and I have become way more conscious of the products I'm using and how much heat I'm using and stuff like that, just because I'm like hanging on. I'm like, come on, I do not want to like lose all my hair, because like I have significant breakage in the back. It's like sad. Like I don't like to touch it because it's like, oh, like it just makes me sad, but my hair has continued to grow. I don't know what the difference is. It might just be like our bodies are different. Obviously all hair is not the same and people don't grow hair at the same rate. I should make a whole video about the products I use to keep blonde hair healthy, I think, because I don't have them here in front of me. I will do that, so stay tuned. Arcadian Sky said, how's Luna's stitch reaction doing now that you took her to the vet to get it fixed? It is doing so much better. Once I took her back to get the stitches from the surgery removed, it was just like completely healed, and there is like a little bump, so I don't know if that's scar tissue or what, since she's had to have that opened up twice now, but it just looks so much better and she hasn't been messing with it. So after all of that drama that I talked about in the vlog, like it was all worth it in the end, so that was good. Carl Seck said, all caps, apartment tour! I don't live in an apartment, but I used to, and if you'd like to watch an apartment tour of my last place, I'll link it down below. This house, I did like an empty house tour, if you could see that. I feel like I need to set the goal. I wanna do like a house tour, a room tour, something like that by the summer. I've been in this house since last summer. Really? I've been in this house since last summer, so it has been kind of a long time, but I am nowhere near having it like decorated and organized or any of that. It's not my thing, and so a lot of times that kind of stuff gets put on the back burner, but I would like to hopefully set the goal to do it in the coming months, so watch out. Jessica Aluna said, favorite 80s movie? Love you so much, Leanne. Love you too. it's really hard to choose because there's a lot of 80s movies, but I'm going to narrow it down to like 80s teen movies. And though I have a lot of favorites, even just in that category, my all-time favorite has to be Heathers. If you haven't seen it, see it. Life is Wild said, is it hard balancing a full-time career and a YouTube career? You have no idea. It is so hard and so stressful sometimes, but I love both. I couldn't dream of giving up my YouTube channel, and I would be so sad if I didn't have my job anymore. I feel so lucky to have my job. I do think that I could manage it better, but at the same time, at times it's an unmanageable situation. It's just a lot. And it's like 2 full-time jobs. I don't like to think of YouTube as a job because then I think it kind of takes a little bit of the fun out of it. But it takes a lot of work, and I love working on it, and I love giving it time. So it is a struggle. It's really hard. I do think you can do it, but it's basically driving me insane. Just saying. Alexia Erickson said, how did you motivate yourself to finish college? I'm about to get my associates and considering stopping after this because, school. I totally understand where you're coming from. I almost feel like I should make a whole video about like my college journey because I was not a motivated student at all in the beginning, and I left school, I went back, I left school, I went back. Like I took this scenic route. That's what I always tell people. It took me a long time to get through school, but in the end, I just like, I don't know, it really all comes down to like you making up your mind and just saying like, I'm gonna do this. This is the one time that I like have to do this in life, and why not make the best of it? Make the best grades you can do, meet people, and just like throw yourself into it. So, okay, you know what really changed it for me? I threw myself into it and I really started studying really hard, and I started making really good grades. And just like being on the dean's list, it was just like, oh, I love this. This is like good recognition, and it is a struggle, but like when you figure out how to like win, I don't know if that's a good way to put it, it just motivates you even more because you're just like, hey, I can do this. And it's just like the semesters, like honestly, they're not that long. And so it's like you tackle a class for a few months and then you're done with it. Like, yeah, you might have to do different kinds of classes that are the same, but it's like, you can do it. Let that be motivation. I am telling you, you can do it. I didn't think I could do it, and I pulled it off. And to be perfectly honest with you, sometimes I really wish I could go back to school because like it became kind of fun to me. Never thought I would say that. M. Shui said, what is the biggest misconception you think people have about YouTubers? I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that we're not real people. I don't know, like I read my comments and I see when people are hateful towards me and it hurts. And even though like you do, hopefully, you know, the best route is to take the high road and not engage and all of that. And, you know, I think everyone at times like engages and wishes they hadn't. When people, you know, either just say things that aren't true about you, or they're just like vicious and mean and cruel and they say really nasty things, like it can kind of really bring you down. I had a situation a couple of weeks ago and I got a huge amount of hate, and it was actually on the collab video that I did with Bunny. It wasn't the one that was on my channel, it was the one that was on her channel. And her viewers, for whatever reason, like we've done so many collabs together and stuff, but they just decided that they hated me and they were just gonna pick apart every single thing I did and just like say like everything I was doing was wrong and it was like coming from a mean-spirited place and stuff like that, like stuff that I could not even imagine that they were seeing. And I was so confused and I was so hurt and I was like blindsided. I feel relatively lucky in the YouTube space that I don't have a lot of people that are like constantly attacking me. Like yes, everyone gets negative comments and hate or whatever at times, but you know, my audience isn't, you know, 50 million people. And so I guess in a lot of ways, like since I have like a tighter group, they're all like sweet people who really love me, or at least that's how I like to feel. And it was just, that just hurt me so much. I'm a person and other YouTube people are people, and it's like, you know, usually the positive outweighs the negative, but just like anyone on the planet, when someone says something negative to you, it sticks in your head a little bit. And it, you know, you could have had the greatest day ever, but you know, some like that is gonna kind of stick out to you. I am going off like on a rant tangent right now. I'm just gonna stop there. Chelly Bean said, do you relate more to fairies or aliens, and why? I love this question. I wish it was like a beauty pageant and like that was my question. I got to like answer it to the world. I'd have to say I relate more to aliens. Definitely think I belong more in space rather than like in nature flying around like a fairy. So final answer, alien. And on that note, that's it for LeighAnnSays. Hopefully I can do another one of these pretty soon. I love getting y'all's questions. I wish I could answer every single one of them, but sadly we all have lives and this video must end. Thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. Give this video a thumbs up if you want me to continue doing LeighAnnSays videos. Subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with all of my videos. I hope you do. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. You are my people and I love you. And you can find me anywhere on social media. It's LeighAnnSays. I'll put those links down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone. I'm going on ahead with another coat of mascara. This is the Revlon All-in-One Mascara. I really like it lately. The wand is really tiny.